Radio for Skaro.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 745. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
We're in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
We're at the end of May. How about that? May 31st. As you listen
Weird,
to this.
man.
I know.
2020 has been an odd one. It's the understatement of the decade.
Odd is one word to call it. We're at the end of our Daleks Space War, Frontiered Space, Planet of the Daleks commentary series. Good. We recorded that back in March, in the tiny early days of the pandemic, and now here we are at the end of the pandemic. It's all been solved. Everything's fine now.
Hooray!
So
Wonderful.
I'm glad we saw it. Well, we're not at
Go
all.
out and cough on people.
Yeah, we're not at all like the Daleks at the end of this and sealing ourselves inside a underground bunker for 1,000 years. No.
I'm gonna stare right at the camera and make a speech.
Yeah. Funny how, like, Dalek stories written by Terra Nation end with the Daleks entombed in their own bunker for 1,000 years. I think that happens in, like, the Daleks and Planet of the Daleks and Genesis of the Daleks.
They're trying to undo that for Davros and Destiny.
Yeah, they just keep, like, opening and closing vaults. That's basically what Dalek stories are when it comes to Terra Nation.
We don't even get the Movellans out of this deal.
We sadly do not. Have we done a commentary for Destiny of the Daleks? And if not,
I don't
why
think so.
not? Because that's...
I want to say no.
No.
I want to say that Pip Medley has already accomplished more than anyone ever could.
That's right.
With the Movellans.
What are the I think we'll just do a commentary series on what the Movellans are watching whenever we do Destiny of the Daleks. But yeah, I think we've already recorded the next classic series commentary. I think we chose it at the end of this one coming up on this episode, but I can't be sure because it was 3 months ago. So don't quote me on that. But
I believe that's the case.
But I will tell you this. Next week, we dip back into the miniscopes again because we didn't have that solved at the end of this episode. But we do now. We recorded it, and it's a miniscope on Steve Thompson next week, if he exists. So this is an asterisk one, this one, because he's...
Maybe this miniscope will bring him out of the hiding in his bunker.
The miniscope exists whether or not Thompson does.
That's true. That is very true, actually, yeah. Speaking of miniscopes, I mean, this could be a conversation best left behind the scenes, but what the hell? We're gonna have it now. I'd like to suggest a addition to the miniscope that we haven't previously considered, because of course the criteria for miniscopes, I don't know what the miniscopes is, the plural of miniscopes, is you have to have written or directed or scored 3 or more Doctor Who stories, complete stories. That's a Keith Broke rule, because we had Keith Broke in there because he had 3 episodes. So this person actually qualifies under the pre-Keith Broke amendment in that he wrote 3 episodes. But one thing we hadn't considered is that he did write a 3rd thing, which at the time of its creation was intended to be the official continuation of the series. And that is Scream of the Shulkum. Paul Cornell, I think, belongs in the miniscope for his 2 new series stories, and then also Scream of the Shulkum.
That seems fair to me.
Yeah. Chris, do you have an opinion on this?
Well, I mean, it seems reasonable. That's
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just
Is Scream of the Shulkum canon? That's the most important thing.
It is. I tell you, at the time, as Paul has many times said, there is no canon in Doctor Who. So if this was a Star Trek podcast, we would probably say no way. But then again, there's been like 18 different versions of Spock in Star Trek. So what is canon when it comes to...
Strange New Voyages is going to be interesting, but how they hew to the canon that Star Trek craves so mightily, I don't know.
I don't know about that either. But so there we go. That's
after watching the 2nd and 3rd Kelvin universe Star Trek films this past week,
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure that there's a continuity or a canon for Star Trek any longer.
Well, there is a garbage dump, and it's called the Kelvin films.
Well, why do they call them the Kelvin films, by the way?
In the first one, it opens with Kirk's father on the USS Kelvin. And then
Isn't that Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth?
in the second one, it's no, it's not. In the second one, Noel Clarke's character works at the Kelvin Archives or something like that.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
That's the best part of Into Darkness, by the way, Noel Clarke show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Until they go all Godfather 3.
I didn't know that that was the reason. I guess I didn't pay attention. I thought perhaps it was like the temperature. Like, is it like really cold or something? I don't know. Is it? That's why I thought the Kelvin.
Purposeful references to Kelvin, I guess.
I have a cousin named Kelvin, and also our fridge when I was growing up was called the Kelvinator. So in a way, the Star Trek movie universe franchise revolves around me.
And if your cousin is a ladies' man, he's probably the Kelvinator.
He was not. He's still with us, but he's
Well. Guess what?
not.
Thor himself is in Star Trek as George Kirk. You are wrong, Chris.
All right.
Anyway,
According to Wikipedia.
Anyway, Paul Cornell in the Metascope. I think it's right to put him in there. So
It's definitely reasonable. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So next time we open it up, we'll Paul Cornell will be a candidate.
Basically, we're just adding one more name.
Well, hey, we're getting down there. I don't know how many we have left, but we've sort of rattled through a lot of them. So we're trying to space out the miniscopes kind of as much as we possibly can, and this is why we have Steve Thompson in there. But it was randomly drawn. So that's what you get next week.
With adding Paul's name onto the list, it's 20. 20 names remain on the Miniscope randomizer.
Yeah, that might take us through like 3 or 4 years. Then we got to got to think up another thing to keep this thing going.
That's at least one more pandemic.
Yeah, that's true. What are we going to do in the next pandemic when that comes around? We have to have another long-running series of nonsense and stuff. Anyway, that's so Steve Thompson next week. But Planet of the Daleks episodes 5 and 6 are on this episode of the podcast. Let's talk about some Doctor Who news. How about speaking of wrapping up, the Emily Cook, who has done a tremendous job setting up these unofficial live tweets.
None of it official.
All
on her own, basically.
You just assume because she works with Doctor Who magazine, it's like it's somehow, but no, unofficial, just on her own with the help of reaching out to everyone. She is like the universal force that guides Doctor Who fandom right now. They're wrapping up these live tweets as we record this on Saturday morning. There's no SpaceX rocket in the sky. Hopefully there will be by the time this comes out. And B, the New Earth and Gridlock double bill will have come and gone. With Russell T. Davies tweeting along with it with the hashtag New
Speaking
New
of
York.
SpaceX, I made a comment on my work podcast of all things that it took till 2020 for spacesuits to look like 2001.
Right? Those are hot spacesuits. Those are pretty
Oh,
neat.
they look great.
Yeah, those are neat. So by the time this podcast comes out, we'll probably know what the final live tweet is. I wonder what it'll be.
I was wondering that because some of the big ones have already been done. So we've done Rose. We've done.
Yeah.
They did Day of the
We've
Doctor?
done Day of the Doctor.
That was the first. Yeah.
I was wondering, maybe they'll do a Whittaker one and do like Fugitive of the Jadoon.
I feel like a Whittaker one is like that's the one they haven't done. Like Chibnall's not been involved in any of these.
No, but is Whittaker stuff too new? Like, does that kind of go against what they're trying to do? So I don't know because like 11th Hour has been done, and
I don't see why not do it at Whittaker.
I think they
Everybody's
should
stuck
do.
at home.
Yeah. Which one do you do? Spyfall? Do you do this? Spyfall is a lot of fun. I think that's a lot of fun.
Spyfall would make sense as a two-parter as well.
Or Fugitive of the
And,
Dune, perhaps.
Also, Spyfall, Stephen Fry. You could maybe get him for his 10
For
minutes on
his
screen.
12 minutes, yeah, that's a thing.
Well, given how easy it was to get him a Doctor Who in the first place, I can't see any problem there.
Yeah.
Yeah, or write for the show for that matter. If I had to guess, I'd say Fugitive of the Jadoon. It's the one that stands out the most just because of the Ruth Doctor. But
And it's 1 hour as opposed to 2 parts.
That's true, but they are kind of leaning. I mean, it's the finale we're talking about. They're doing a 2-part with New Earth and Gridlock. I mean, they did 2 parts with the Zygon 2-part with Peter Harness. They did
True. Basically, we're guessing is what I'm saying here.
Oh, we're totally guessing it, and we could like when this episode comes out, we'll have already been proven wrong or right. So it's exciting. My vote's for Spyfall Parts 1 and 2, just because it's a huge, massive event. Oh, all right.
I think either is a good thing, but from like you say, because they've been doing some 2-part ones of late. Human Nature, Family of Blood. Don't forget that one. Okay. Let's. I think I'll join you and settle on Spyfall Parts 1 and 2 as the final one.
I'm sticking to my guns.
All right. Well, it isn't like okay. Well,
for no good reason.
Yeah,
really.
this is as pointless a debate. Let's debate about something that will have already happened by the time this comes out.
Maybe they'll do the TV movie and just usurp that other one that was. Well,
that already happened
the other day.
No, TARDIS Monkey did it. Yeah, with with a variety of people on there. So.
Friend of the show, Jerry Baratic, who's in the TV movie, also commented along with it.
That's right. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
All right, so
Vancouverite.
Okay, so they're going to do Scream of the Schalke. Settle.
Why not? Paul Cardell's going to come out and say, yep, they're doing it. Scream of the Schalke. That's the one. It's one to wrap it up.
No, they're doing tweet-alongs to old DWM comics.
That could be it. Doctor Who annuals,
I'd enjoyed if they did Curse of Fatal Death.
That would be a short live tweet because it's only 19 minutes long.
But you can do it as a bonus second thing.
Time Crash. What about Doctor Who and the Pescatons live tweet? How about that?
Yeah, it doesn't work because it's only audio.
Oh, that's fine. Big Finish.
How about if they just did how about if they did a collection of the mini stuff like Time Crash and whatnot? They could. They wouldn't, but they could.
No, that'd be silly. That'd be a lot of queuing up and
Well, the biggest thing is whatever they're doing has to be on iPlayer, I think.
That's a good point, actually.
Right now is everything for the new series.
Because I suppose that's availability is a thing. That might cause us to retract our statement about the Series 12 stuff because that isn't quite as readily available on Amazon or anything yet because it hasn't come out yet. Hasn't even come out on HBO Max, which is the home of.
It's on DVD and Blu-ray.
What is Series 12?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
No, it comes out in June. June 9th is when it comes out. So
maybe over here. It's out in the UK.
It's out in the UK, but it's not out here yet, and it's not on any streaming service.
Britain only, dude. So I mean,
these are intended to be sort of like more worldwide kind of tweet-alongs. You see, not necessarily geared towards the UK. So,
but there's still a UK focus.
They're UK focused, but you want to involve as many people as possible.
Of course, it's unavoidable.
Yeah. So maybe it won't be the Spyfall because it's not quite available yet. But it is coming June 9th. It's still coming June 9th. There's delays for everything, it seems, but I think that June 9th is the drop. I'm not gonna say drop dead date, but the written in stone date for the DVD Blu-ray in this part of the world.
That's only a week and a half out, so maybe they'll have the Spyfall tweet along and put it after June 9th, so people have a chance to buy it outside of the UK.
That would be a good thing to do.
Well, it's on all the digital services, is it not? But for purchase, that is.
It is, but people,
Amazon.
Yeah, but you want to have people just be able to stream it, because that's the great thing about these things is that they've been like, hey, by the way, we're Amazon Prime, we're making this free today. Watch this episode today. So
yeah,
still there.
But what about the other tweet along that happened this week, Stephen? It's your favorite.
Yeah, it got announced and then it happened, and then there was a sing-along and everything for Rings of Akhaten.
Wow, the enthusiasm's possibly dripping off your voice.
Yeah. We talked like a month ago, I guess, about the long song fan choir thing. Because
it's pretty impressive. That thing came out, actually. That was on.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously took a lot of organizing, and because it's like people recording video and having to edit and whatever, that was announced well in advance, unlike most everything else that's partnered with tweet-alongs. But it's a very that's a big effort to have to get congealed.
Yeah. A, they have to find people who can sing. B, they have to queue it up. And C, they have to make it sound good, because not everyone's recording on a professional mic or anything like that. And the sound of a choir is the sound of a whole choir, not just like people singing in individual microphones either. So there's that as well. So yeah, quite a thing. Listen, there are people who like Rings of Akhaten. I find it one of the most disappointing stories of the entire century, but I wasn't going to come in and say, you are all wrong. Your episode of Doctor Who was terrible. So
let's just back up here. One of the most disappointing stories of the entire century.
Yep.
Even worse than Cats, the motion picture.
No, I meant Doctor Who story here, Warren. Doctor Who story.
Well, it's good that you narrow it down.
Yeah. So yeah. Hats off to Emily Cook for arranging all these and for choosing the final story, which is, of course, that's where I would edit it in, but I'm not going to do that because
the final story is Fear Her.
It's much more
Mr. Black.
much more fun to speculate about such things. I mentioned, just to jump ahead a little bit, Chris, don't panic, but HBO Max launched in the United States this past week. And Doctor Who's on there now. Series 1 through 11. Series 12 isn't out there yet because it's not on Blu-ray and it's not available for purchase yet, basically. So
in all the coverage I've seen of HBO Max, it's all, and this is Americans talking, very confusing. There's 3 different versions of it or something, and it has all of Doctor Who, I guess.
Well, there's HBO
you
Go,
have that on
there's
Crave?
HBO Max, and there's multiple HBO streaming services.
yeah.
Which is baffling. And we don't even get it anywhere here in Canada. We just get dribs and drabs of it on Crave.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, whatever Crave chooses to sub-license from
Which,
HBO.
honestly is simple, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I haven't watched Crave in months, basically.
I've been watching Eccleston's old stuff, so that Crave has been quite useful.
Well-
Although it was down last night. Damn you, Crave.
Well, they have commercial dips in there and incorrect aspect ratio. That's my complaint
I'm
against
not thrilled
Crave.
with it, but yeah.
Yeah, come on. You're a premium service. Get the actual proper broadcast masters and not the 16:9 for the Jodie Whittaker stuff. Simple.
Speaking of aspect ratios, I gather Disney Plus finally has the corrected early Simpsons stuff.
Yeah, they have a little button where you can
I've
watch
heard
it.
it's a bit iffy too, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah. Anyway, Doctor Who on HBO Max now in the United States of America.
The big thing from the press release, which I don't know if we knew or not. Anyway, when it mentions Doctor Who, they talk about third-party acquisitions, saying Doctor Who season, up to season 11, and the next 3 seasons or series, whatever wording they use as part of it. So they will have up to series 14, which technically hasn't been announced.
I think they actually announced it when they said that Doctor Who was coming to.
Did they? Yeah, I couldn't remember
so.
if they did or not. I'm just flashing back to that thing from a year or two ago, that purchase of the show from China, where they talk about 5 years of the next 5 series or something like that, which would have taken it to series 15 or 16.
That's right. And you don't want to annoy China.
Well, we've talked.
You're actually being deadly serious about that.
We've talked in the past about ratings and this and that, and how all these international sales of the show are likely to keep it going regardless of who does or doesn't watch it live on BBC One.
Yep. Contractual obligations will keep Doctor Who going for years and years.
Tell you
and
one
years.
thing, China's not going to buy any more Schitt's Creek episodes because Meng Wanzhou is going to jail.
Well, also it's gone too. They wrapped it up. So
Well, that too.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find a random Canadian show, and I couldn't think of one.
and a successful Canadian show too. That's the funny thing about it.
Quite,
Successful Canadian show. Yeah, people watched it in the United States and everything. It's quite something. But
Same with Letterkenny, which is a more accurate reflection of Canadians than you believe.
yeah,
you
which
think
is
it
why I
people.
can't watch it. I watched one episode. Says no, this is way too close to home. Let's
Way too real.
Can't-
Way too real.
can't- do
I work
this.
with somebody from small town Ontario, and they say Letterkenny is a very
it's Alberta, too.
clear picture of what their
It
hometown
is so
is like.
very Alberta. I was actually in Portland, and somebody was talking to somebody else at the bar I was at about Letterkenny, and I just turned to him and said, "Listen, I'm from Canada, and yeah, we're all these dirtbags. Every last one of us."
I've never seen it have any concept, so
If you've wandered through small town Alberta, you understand.
yeah.
I have, yes.
There's a bit more patter to it, but the accent, the tone of voice, the culture, it's all there.
Even I've worked with smart guys who were never really a small town, which is exactly what these guys are, and so I was just like, this is just like being in the Crow's Nest Pass. It's weird.
Yeah. Hey, Noel Clarke. We mentioned him earlier in this podcast. He has been doing Career Chronicles, this little like ongoing series of talking to people he likes about the business on his Instagram feed. And this past week, he talked to one Russell T Davies for like 50 minutes on Instagram, which is pretty cool. So
I haven't watched this, but I have been watching the early Akhaten stuff for the first time in a long time. And my question to artist Russell T Davies is, do you feel bad about how you treated Mickey first season? Because I feel bad about how you treated Mickey first season.
But you need to treat him that way so he can have his vindication in the second season.
Yeah, you could have toned it down a bit, I think.
Yeah, there's a certain, innocent days, I guess. But anyway, I haven't watched the interview yet, but I have watched the first couple minutes of the introduction, and it looks quite delightful. And it's lovely that they are friends after all these years of Russell T Davies casting him in Doctor Who and stuff. So, links in the show notes, radiofreeskaro.com. If you want to, you don't need Instagram. You can watch it on the web. You can watch it all fine if you don't just want to tuck into your phone for 50 minutes. But it looks pretty cool. Big Finish news. There's a cool thing. Big Finish put out this short little 16-minute documentary about Big Finish in lockdown, about how they are making things work in lockdown, producing drama. I watched this.
which we kind of talked about with Steve Berry a couple months back.
We did, but now we actually see it in action, and how, Dick Briggs walks out to his garage where he has his like recording studio sort of right there, and like other people are sort of like arranging things. Lala Ward is in Hong Kong recording her parts over at an actual studio. It's fascinating. Actually, they're driving through Hong Kong and all the streets are deserted and everything, and anyway, it's all various behind the scenes stuff, and they're talking about like microphones and like sound baffling. So like for a mild tech gearhead like myself, I'm kind of intrigued by it. But it was a pretty cool little video that showed up.
I may have to watch this.
Yeah, you'll like it there, Warren. So that was pretty neat. I quite enjoyed that. Also, speaking of Big Finish, the Lost. There's actually that's the thing. The big news came out. They are changing their release schedule in 2022. Speaking of planning ahead for Big Finish, they are sort of moving away from the monthly release schedule and just sort of like going with like kind of like box sets, if you will, which is kind of how they've been doing it for basically everything else. Apart from the monthly releases, the monthly releases are finally sort of catching up with how they're doing it. So that's how they're doing that. And also in August of 2020 comes Out of Time, a new story with David Tennant and Tom Baker together fighting Daleks. This is like fanfic extraordinaire when you think.
Now my question is, did they record this before the lockdown, or is this? Not that makes a difference. They could have been in the studio on different days, but it would be cool to have them both in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think.
I suspect if they were in the studio at the same time, like if that's how it was done,
we'd see a picture at this point.
We'd see some like promotional stuff about that for sure.
Yeah, because you don't want to pass that. Oh, we didn't bring a camera today. Whatever. Well, the next
nobody
time
brought,
has a phone.
Nobody brought their smartphone.
No, the guy left my phone at home for some reason. Me too. I guess we just won't get a picture of Tom Baker and Dave Tennant together. Oh, well.
We can't even get a sketch artist in.
No. Yeah, exactly. So what do we do? In other audio news, while we're on this tangent, there's the Lost TV Episodes Collection 4, the second Doctor TV soundtracks is apparently coming out later on, or is already out now. Who knows? Featuring the Makatera, Faceless Ones, Evil of the Daleks, Abominable Snowmen, and Ice Warriors.
November 5th is when it's
November the 5th. Got it. There it is right there. Yeah. So that's coming out if you want to keep your collection going to those. There's also a guide. I didn't know this was a thing actually, but it's for a good cause. It's supporting Marie Curie cancer care. Volume 2 of the Doctor Who audio guide, covering the audio basically from 2009 to 2013, indexed by title, cast, and crew. The first one came out several years ago and has been updated, leading from 1963 to 2008. So, the second one's coming out. Hopefully, it doesn't take another like 15 years for the third volume to come out to cover 2014 onwards. But the links in the show notes if you want to check those out from the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. Also, the Doctor Who, the Faceless Ones. Yes, that animated story that you are enjoying in the UK and have already put back on your shelf because it came out so long ago, It's finally coming to at least Canada on July 28th on Amazon. It's they still don't have cover art on it.
On DVD, not Amazon
On DVD,
Prime.
yeah. We have not got, we didn't get Macroterra on Blu-ray. We didn't get Shada on Blu-ray. We didn't get Power of the Daleks on Blu-ray. So it's just DVD here in Region 1. But in Canada, at the very least, you can pre-order it. I just checked Amazon.com before we pressed record, and I still didn't see it on Amazon.com. So
That's rare. Usually Amazon.com gets stuff way before Canada's listings get it. But I suspect it'll show up sooner than later.
Hopefully.
We're still 2 months away from the release, so there's time.
It's plenty of time for it to be delayed, like everything else.
Wow.
Such optimism.
Spoken like a true
Such
Doctor
optimism.
Who fan.
Yeah. Well, prove me wrong. I mean, anyway. What else? Doctor Who magazine came out this past week, featuring the highly controversial results of the Doctor Who magazine Twitter World Cup of First Doctor stories, which, of course, also included the 3 Doctors and the 5 Doctors, which I don't know about that. Anyway, throwing an asterisk next to them.
The First Doctor was in both of those. I think they're perfectly cromulent.
Yes, he was in both of those. Well, technically, he was in, Resurrection of the Daleks. Why don't we have the clip of William Hartnell and Resurrection of the Daleks? What about the name of the Doctor? Because he was in that as well, whether he was stealing a TARDIS. So we should put that in there, too.
We watched Modern Undead last night, and there's the flashback sequence of the prior Doctors when the
He's in there.
Them, so, yeah.
My favorite William Hartnell story, Modern Undead.
That kind of is my favorite now.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So anyway, Doctor Magazine's out there. There's other cool things like Mark Gatiss doing the TARDIS tin, and there's a whole interview each other thing, which I hadn't read yet, with where Steve Moffat and RTD did it last issue, and this time it's Pete McTighe, Vinay Patel, and Joy Wilkinson, who are that little delightful trio of Series 11 writers who, of course, were on our live show at Gallifrey 1 when we all met together in public spaces and talked to people. So I'm looking forward to reading that bit, because they're fun people. And this is it. We're done. We're done the news list, everyone. Doctor Who is coming to Turkish TV. Yeah.
When I read that news headline, and I thought maybe it's one of those crazy Turkish versions of Doctor Who.
No, actual proper Doctor Who.
Oh, you mean like that thing on what's it called? That thing on YouTube. The fan video.
It came out in the 70s or something. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
No, it wasn't. No, it was something else.
It's stylized to look like that.
Yeah. It was crazy. But no, this is actual proper Doctor Who on BBC Prime in Turkey, which premiered on May 27th. So, if we have any Turkish listeners, hello. I hope you're enjoying Doctor Who on Turkish television.
We apologize in advance.
Yeah,
you've already been through quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Big Finish Out of Time has now been pre-ordered.
Well done.
And again, Big Finish.
Well done. Back in your.
It's like $9. What the hell? Why not?
Yeah, it's on your massive queue of Big Finish stuff.
I'll listen to it sometime in 2022
when you have a work commute again, possibly. Who knows?
Yep.
Excellent.
Well, I used to listen to these on planes for work stuff, and that's not happening anymore.
Planes, Planes. How fascinating. All right.
I know.
That's it. That's it for the news list, everyone. After the short break, we wrap it up. It's all over. Planet of the Daleks, our commentary for it, episodes 5 and 6. Welcome back, everyone. This is it. The final 2 episodes of
the
home stretch, everyone.
Send help.
We have no help this time around. All of our special guests have come and gone. We thank Kyle, Liz, Toby, and Paul for helping us through the middle 8, so to speak.
Yes. Oh dear.
Of the 12 episodes that we've done in one day. We've done this in what you might be listening to this over the course of several weeks, dear listener, but we've done this in one day.
As of this particular moment in time, we're about 6.5 hours into this. We have had like a little bit, rest break in between these 2 episode,
but not much
things. Not much, no, but just a little bit. So I stepped out to go to the washroom a few minutes before we started recording this, and I was saying to Kat, we should be done at at whatever time, and so that means we'll have been at that for about like 7.5 hours. And
A
she's
shift.
like,
We've done a shift.
she's like, oh, like a normal work day. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all for you, Patreon supporters and regular listeners of the podcast as well. This is our goal of hitting $150 per episode, and more importantly, maintaining it, which is also important, because that's always good. So this is it. We're finally doing it. We've finally done it, and these are the last 2 episodes to go. So please grab those legally purchased DVDs. Everything else, blah blah. You know the spiel by now. For Planet of the Daleks, episode 5. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play. This is only 22:41, so at least it's slightly shorter than other episodes. But yeah,
I bet she's got a long reprise too.
That means more happens in it because it's in a compacted time space.
Yeah. I remember back in my wild and crazy days as a young Doctor Who fan, before I just I used to just
so I can't picture that.
Yeah, I know. I just back when the days when I just watched An Unearthly Child. There was next to no reprise in this, by the way. On November 23rd, I would try and cram in a 24-hour marathon each Doctor Who day, and I fell asleep most of the time.
I was going to say, like staying up for 24 full hours kind of thing?
Staying up for 24 full hours, watching Doctor Who. I'd plan it out. Here's one to watch here and then there.
If you put Planet of the Daleks on your itinerary for that, of course you're going to fall asleep.
I don't know if I put Planet of the Daleks. You know what? I almost want to think that I have the original foolscap sheets that I wrote these things out on. Like that, we're talking like early 90s here, I think.
And as a child, you were like, this is the most important document that has ever been written.
Yes, it is.
That's a word I don't think I've heard since elementary school.
I know. Foolscap. What is that?
I don't know.
Is it foolscap or foolscap? Like that's that's one word, but anyway, Doctor Who and his friends are stuck around a campfire. Thankfully, no one's brought out a guitar. That's
oh god.
One of the Thals is going to break out in Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Here is the origin of foolscap. Late 17th century, said to be named from a former watermark representing a fool's cap.
Well, that's slightly
what's
helpful.
What's wrong with just saying piece of paper?
Yeah.
In South American countries, it's called officio.
Does it define a particular size, like A4 or?
It's taller than A4.
Oh,
but in North America, it's legal size.
Define
paper.
a size.
Oh, legal size. Okay. Well.
All right.
They are.
Well, there's our educational remit.
Well, it's that or we watch this rug attack people.
Yeah, that's a rug. That would be cozy on
Value Village
cold.
is malevolently attacking.
That's pretty impressive. I mean,
power's all depleted. No more gun.
Well, we got sticks.
Is he going to make a didgeridoo?
Fire sticks make it good.
This is, just to go back to what you said previously, very studio-y. So I'm getting a bit of a Star Trek vibe off it. Especially from that green monotone color in the background.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's just like a Star Trek set. You got lousy rocks with lousy lighting. And...
Star Trek would never show this angle, though. They would always just have, like the one with the Galileo 7 is stuck, and there's just stuff just gets getting thrown at it.
Right.
With sound effects. I'm trying to think of which Muppet this is.
Kind of Grimace-like, I suppose.
Grimace.
It's like one of the monsters in Sesame Street.
I was going to say Snuffleupagus, but is that
no, more like one of the just unnamed monsters that sits there and counts with kids and.
Is Grimace a Muppet? No, Grimace is not.
Why would you open his mouth like that?
I know. Well, because he thought it was what's his name, Bernard Horsfall.
Ah, yes.
Now I'm going to kill him. You've been Horsfelled.
Oh dear.
Horsfall.
That'll be my next in a series of of T-shirts with a very big gap between them. After my Maddox shirt, I'll have Horsfall.
Horsfall.
And have him in his Gallifreyan outfit.
What is the etymology of the name Horsfall? There's no E in there, so...
Probably a horse falling over.
Probably.
Somebody got a horse drunk.
Catherine the Great died? Yeah. Did Catherine the Great die from a horse falling on her?
I heard that whole thing was apocryphal.
Well, I know the trying to have sex with the horse is the apocryphal thing, but maybe the horse actually did fall on her. I don't know.
Who knows? The royals are weird. Any royals are weird.
That's true. Kansas City Royals are weird.
There you go.
Back when we had sports. Before
Back
the
in
time
Bo
of chaos.
Jackson days of the Kansas City
Yeah.
Royals.
Sitting around talking about how are we feeling with Planet of the Daleks here now? After we've had people talk about it for a little while, Paul seemed pretty up on it. No,
It's still Planet of the Daleks, but it's nice to hear other people's opinions.
yeah,
I've never disliked it as much as I
Yeah, I don't hate it.
as I let on. It is one like back when we'd get the cycling of Doctor Who stuff. It is one I generally looked forward to.
Oh, really?
I Death of the Daleks again, still legitimately far and away my favorite.
Why aren't
Dalek
we
story.
keying something in the background right now?
That's a good that's
Like
the
a
thing.
different episode. You could have Day of the Daleks playing behind.
Having episodes on top of other episodes. I like that idea. This is back before they could do that comfortably. Although they probably could. That's the thing. You could have like put on any old background on there, and it would have fringed like hell. But
It definitely
Someone
would,
set them
'cause
up.
it's not even.
Someone set them up with a bomb.
Thank you, Rug. Oh, that thing's just... That is a dirty-ass rug.
thank you, rug, shag carpet. He didn't hear you. He's left it gone. He's gone already. You can, I'm pretty sure that you can see the folds in the backdrop there, the cyclorama. You couldn't see in 1973 on your tiny TV, but
See, that's relatively clean. You could
But they
definitely
were
get a
there.
good key out of that.
yeah. Well, maybe they should have done that for the Blu-ray. It's key in a backdrop. Looks halfway decent, perhaps.
Come on, restoration team. Pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, you can do
Oh,
that
these
without
guys.
having-
The Daleks are in this.
having a chroma
I'd
key.
forgotten.
Oh yeah, I knew the rugs were in it, but and of course, we're going to see the end of Princess Hancock in a little bit here, I think.
Until his next Doctor Who appearance.
That's true. She pretty much dies the same way in another David Maloney directed epic. The Plane of Stone sounds like a thing. Like we could have said Game of Thrones, but we couldn't get the rights to say Game of Thrones, so we're going to say Plane of Stones instead.
This sounds like Cockney rhyming slang to me.
It does a little bit, actually. Plane of Stones is Cockney rhyming slang for Game of Thrones. Oh, they shot the poor Spyridon too. Look at him.
He was expendable.
I was going after him. Why'd you shoot me? I would say if I wasn't dead. That is funny. When they're actually wrestling with them, they do look like Muppets, don't they?
I was explaining an old episode of TOS to my girlfriend. She had never really watched it. And I said, oh, the red guy, the guy in the red shirt, he's doomed. And she's like, why? Because he's black? I'm like, no, this is the show where that doesn't happen. It's just because he has a red shirt. And he's male. Women generally don't get killed if they got red shirts. They just get condescended to.
That's very true. But then Picard, though in Next Gen, the command crew wore red.
That's right.
Was that like a conscious decision on their part?
So a security guy's in yellow. I probably wouldn't surprise me because it became a joke even then. What is
Yeah.
this? Are they at the dentist?
They are the hairdresser, I think. Oh, that light stock is reflecting.
Planet of the Dentists.
Oh, that is not doing that camera any favors whatsoever.
No. Let's get the grimy smudge on that Dalek eye stock.
I know people give the eyeball a hard time, but I always think it's kind of cute.
Well, it's funny actually. In a case where things actually devolved from the original props had like a dilating iris on the Dalek eye stock, but they don't have that now. So it's just a dot. Boom, boom. We can't hear the sound, but it is It's one of the greatest sound effects ever. The Dalek control room sound effect.
I agree.
So simple. And
It's so evocative.
Yeah, when they had it in, you could hear it in, what was it, Bad Wolf Parting of the Ways.
Yeah.
They used it
and you're
there,
like, oh my God, really?
Oh my, yeah, they used it. Like the Daleks were really back then. Like that's when the Daleks are proper back now. So keep an eye on Katie Manning's hair here, by the way. Just have a look at it in this scene. If we cut to a wide shot again, there we are. It's got a nice little bit of curl to it. It'll be different in the location scene, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. And the location stuff was always shot first, right?
Yeah. Location footage is almost like a pilot episode. It's like, let's change that for the studio. But it'll be different. They won't know.
Will anyone notice?
That's where Ruprecht's head came from.
Nobody's recording this. They
No.
can't. It doesn't exist.
Exactly. Here we go. There's some bubbling, boiling trouble. Ooh. I do like Terry Nation's ability to come up with like crazy planet things, like Acid Sea and the Keys of Marinus and
Even though they
molten water.
reused that for the web planet, I suppose. The little acid pools.
Well, they did. It's funny that they actually have why did they build their army of Daleks in a cave that was so close to?
Wasn't it something to do with
Maybe they were in hibernation.
like purposefully having them in hibernation?
Yeah, that was it. Like the humans on
Hibernation, but
Nerva
not being-
Beacon. Yeah.
Yeah. Hibernation, but not being like, drenched in the molten ice, as happens.
I do like the hieroglyphic totems that they're walking by there into the...
And not at all reproduced in Death of the Daleks.
They
Pretty
are
much,
cool
aren't they?
totems, though.
For the Exelon City.
Yeah. I do. I mean, they do look kind of like, that's a nice soft plan. I mean, you got to keep it washed. You got to wash those things. But the rugs, the purple rugs. I think I'd like one. I bet you a lot of people had those as carpet back in that day.
I
too.
would say you're probably right.
Yeah. Maybe that's just where they got them. Let's just go to a local carpet shop. Pick up some surplus. Dalek scenes are great.
Especially all the Daleks in the background that are completely static, doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because they're just empty shells.
Empty shells. Oh, they're holding hands. That means they love each other.
It does.
I don't buy this at all.
Well, I mean, the handshake means that they're glad to meet each other and
Yeah.
they're friends.
Get your hands off my knee.
Well, where was that hand? It kind of moved up a little.
This is what we're reduced to after 7 hours of this nonsense.
I never believed this for a second, for what it's worth.
What, Lotta and Joe?
Yeah, never.
I mean, at least they have scenes together. Like, unlike, Andred and Leela.
But still.
They have time to legitimately build chemistry.
Yeah, they have a little time. They have time
Yeah.
in comparison.
But, like Joe, unlike some of her predecessors, realized that, do I want to go back home to Earth where things are nice, or do I want to go off with nothing on this strange alien planet with this person? Gonna go back to my humble pie records. Thank you very much. That's what she said to Lotep. I'm big into humble pie, and I want to listen to them, and they don't have humble pie on Skaro, so I'm sorry, Lotep.
And I don't yet live in the era of downloadable MP3s.
Exactly. And I don't want to know that. Yeah. Because this guy in Wales who's a professor is going to take me down the Amazon with a record player and my humble pie LP collection.
As played by my boyfriend at the time.
Yeah. Stuart Bevan. That's it. No one's helping you, Dalek. Oh, see, look at her hair. It's very curly and stuff, you see.
I kind of lost track of what the hell's going on, but I don't think that matters.
Right. No, we don't have to. She's hiding from a Dalek. The Dalek is very dumb.
And the next time after that she would grab a Dalek,
carpet.
Well,
once again,
different things transpired.
She was carpet bagged. Yeah, smash that sucker.
Why would you smash it smash it from the top, not? Oh, there we go. Eat it, buddy.
Oh boy,
he got beaked.
Should have been killed there.
Drink you go, fella.
Yeah. They're not pushing them down a wooden plank at all. I don't know what you're talking about. It's perfectly smooth rock. Look at that hair.
Like, how many times have the Daleks come out of the water? Till the Dalek invasion of Earth?
Yeah, but that's not molten ice, though, Warren. That's the difference.
That these guys are also in right now, so here we are.
Yeah. Look at how flat Katie Manning's hair is there.
I don't always look at hair like you,
Yeah, I know.
but I legitimately had never noticed that difference before.
Yeah, well.
That has kept my interest going at this point of
The hair?
episode
Yeah.
11 or 12. Yeah.
Long day here, folks. For us.
Without that, my mind would have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop the confusion in your mind.
I cannot.
No. I should do that one next, like right after. Let's just go into it. Let's just do it. Let's just watch
do all the Dalek stories back to back.
all of them.
No,
all of them in one
absolutely
go.
not.
But next would be Death of the Daleks if we do it in broadcast order. That's a good one.
I can't believe we haven't gotten that one yet. I suppose there are a lot of episodes to do commentaries on, but
there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there definitely are. 98 of them, in fact.
98 story. Holy crap, that's a lot. I didn't realize there's that many.
Well, we just added 20-something to the randomizer.
That's true.
Last time around when we added in series 2 and 10.
Mm-hmm. I do love, having to act like you're not just inside a carpet or a tin can acting. Because the guy who's inside Western, it might be Roy Skelton, is bouncing around just to make sure I'm talking now. Like, who talks like that? No one. And then the Daleks moving around a lot. And
exactly, because they need to, because they don't always have the flashing lights, so they move to indicate who's speaking. And
even then, like
that visual.
Yeah, even if they didn't have the flashing lights, like it's just like, well, that's just a prop, just sitting in the middle of the floor. But the fact that it sort of moves around a bit, overcompensate. It's funny because humans don't make that much motion when they speak. But if you were to watch a video game performance of a human just standing there talking, it looks fake. So they have to overcompensate. They have their hair animate up with the slightest breeze.
It's gotten better over the years, but yeah.
It has, but even still, there's a lot. That's where it's tough to animate missing episodes because so much is just, characters standing still. And they have to keep animating them doing something, moving their hand this way or that way, even though they're not saying anything or doing anything, just to say that motion is happening. Your screen has not frozen.
Did they ever look at themselves and go, this is stupid?
Brutal assault.
Yeah. I think actually, isn't Doctor Who in this cloak on the cover of the Target novelization?
I'll look it up.
Yeah, do you have it? I mean, I could be wrong. I remember seeing a picture of it somewhere. Maybe not the cover, but certainly in some.
No, there's no Spiridons.
Okay.
It's Bernard Horsfall and the Doctor pushing a Dalek as it fires on the cover of the book.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I was wrong. I know that the cover for Death to the Daleks is a Dalek head exploding, essentially.
Yes.
And that was used as a poster for quite a while from Target.
Yes. Yes, it was. It was one of, 4 or 5 or 6 you could buy out of the back of Doctor Who magazine.
That's right, yeah.
Or out of the back of a Target book even, I think.
I think it's a Target book, yeah.
Yeah.
Heady days back in those days. Guess what are they doing, Terran? The Quansing Grig.
That's Wester.
How do you know it's
Because
Wester?
you'd recognize him anywhere.
I recognize that purple cloak anywhere. Poor Wester. Noble art of self-sacrifice here. This is exactly how Survivors starts. Oof. Turns everyone negative red.
Negative Red was the worst of the X-Wing squadrons.
Bah. He was always so negative. They pushed it down. Just shoved an empty Dalek down the hall.
He had some speed there.
No. That's kind of creepy.
It's Ian McDermott.
I think that it's actually Roy Skelton, too.
You know what we need? Him and Rise of Skywalker. That'll make it a better movie. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against Ian McDermott.
He was just doing what he was told.
He's great at what he does. It's just, why? Anyway, that's a story for another time.
That is story for another time. We got Planet of the Daleks here, all right?
With one more episode to go.
One more to go.
So it's the story for episode 6, obviously.
Yeah. I'm pretty tired, folks. I'm not gonna lie to
Me
you.
too. And
Yeah.
It's the middle of the day.
Yeah, it's been a long day for us. Watching-
Wait, you were not Spiridons. These Daleks are really stupid.
Yeah, because John Pertwee and Bernard Horsfall and Tim Priest are too tall for the cloaks.
That's the climax. That's it. One rug looks at another.
That's it. That is it.
One rug looks at another.
There's some bad climaxes in this. It has to be said, but what are you gonna do? They can't all be winners, eh? They can't all be Barbara screaming and other stuff, or other literal cliffhangers.
Written by Terry Nation.
Yeah, Michael Wisher does the voice in.
I noticed that, yes.
He does the only voices in Death, and then he does. I don't know if he does any voices actually. I don't think he does in Genesis because he's Davros, and then that's it. And he never does a Dalek voice again, and he never plays a Davros again either. It's it. He's done with Daleks.
Oh, I almost had my mind play ahead of time. Never mind. There we go.
Never do that. Never do that. But do get it queued up, everyone. This is it. We've reached the end. This is exciting times for us. Planet of the Daleks, episode 6. You got them all ready, everyone?
Oh, yeah.
I am ready. Yes.
Good.
More than
There
ready.
we go.
It was playing ahead of me. It wants to be finished.
It wants, well, it wanted to be found. No, it won't be, but it will be played here in 3, 2, 1, play.
There we go.
Premature Dalek.
No, stop it. Stop it right there.
Please
it
stop.
right there. Just call time. Cut your losses. We knew what you meant. It makes it sound like we hate Doctor Who. We've been slogging
No, we
through
just
this,
hate
but
an 8-hour slog.
yeah, it's a long time. But we
But
did
a
it for you.
one-time
We
slog,
promised
in
this.
theory.
We promised this years ago when we said, no one's gonna.
Here's what we
support
do.
us
For the next
enough.
goal, we make it
Yeah.
shorter, but high content somehow. But shorter, I think, is the main
Oh,
thing.
I get it. Yeah, like maybe we'll do a commentary on the Day of the Doctor, but in 6-minute chunks.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah, that'll be our
Sounds
next
horrible.
goal.
The important thing is we're making life easier for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't do marathons anymore. I think back all those years ago when we came up with the idea of this goal, the 10 episodes before Who Against Guns took it from us from the War Games.
How dare they? How dare that charity that does good things?
I know, terrible. I feel like we probably had the longevity and the stamina to last 12 episodes in a day, but
we were younger back then.
Oh yeah,
younger and more foolish.
So young. What was that, like 20?
As dumb as these Daleks. In fact, they're running out of a Dalek title, so I think Dumb of the Daleks is coming sometime soon.
That's true. Dumb. D for dumb. This is a good Dalek corridor set. Although the original is still iconic.
It is.
Richard
The curves
E. Grant sort of way. We're also reaching the end of Dalek stories with just Daleks, you know.
That's true.
Davros comes along and changes everything.
And then a Davros comes along.
We only have the one more.
Mm-hmm. And then we're back to that with the new series for a while.
Unless you want to count 5 Doctors.
Yeah.
Remember what a big deal was that Davros came back?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually very big, I thought. Oddly enough, he's not that major of a player in the new series. Like he came back and he dies, and then that's it.
Wait, dies. You know,
well,
see.
We don't see him. We haven't seen him.
I'm more cheesed off with the fact that he's been keeping his eyes closed this whole time.
Yeah. I think that he couldn't see anything.
If you want to give the 13th Doctor and Chibnall a hard time for what they've done with the mythology, what about the fact that Davros has had his eyes closed this whole time?
I like to think, and I probably said this at the time, is that he still can't see out of them, but he is trying to make the Doctor believe that he can.
Yeah, and he does seduce him rather well, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Bleach is pretty damn good as Davros.
Yeah, I haven't seen Magician's Apprentice in a long time.
No, neither have I.
Yeah, I almost forgot about it, actually.
And it's one of those ones where it's a series premiere, and you're like, I'm hyped because all the Daleks are in it, all it's special weapons Daleks, etc. So you don't take it on its merits, and I haven't really seen it again to judge it on its merits.
Yeah.
As I studiously ignore this one's merits.
Mm-hmm.
Touch the foil, Doctor. Touch the foil.
About a year since I watched that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you got the big
Dolly
box.
Town.
That is solid. We are watching the original effects, by the way. Some of these effects were replaced in the optional enhanced visual effects version for the Blu-ray.
Better be.
I do confess a fondness for the Dalek toy army.
I mean,
as do I. Which is no surprise.
It doesn't look good, but it's also the kind of thing that you kind of wish you had yourself.
Totally, yeah.
It doesn't look good, but it looks great.
There it is. That's it. That's it right there. Just like when I say, Flash Gordon is the greatest movie ever made. It's not good, but it's great.
I have a version of that, but I can't think of what it is right now. Baron Munchausen. Actually, no, it is good, and it's great.
Oh, I also think Bond film Spy Who Loved Me is the greatest Bond film ever. It's just everything. It's just everything in that movie.
I love For Your Eyes Only, and I know it's no good. I love Man with the Golden Gun, and I know it's no good, but I don't care.
Oh. The collapsing hockey net in For Your Eyes Only is very suspect. That's the only thing I have. Speaking of which, Bernard Horsfall's in that. Funnily enough. That's a lamp. That's a lamp that you get with a slightly off kilter top on it. Now that I look at it, but
it's a salad spinner. Come on,
it is a salad spinner.
It's a vacuum. It's a futuristic vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Goldie. Goldie's back.
There he is. Now I wanted to watch the Terry Nation Army episode before this, talking all about this, but I did not have time, sadly. But watch the Terry Nation Army version about like what the origin of that Dalek is. It's not just like one Dalek; it's like the bottom of one and the top of another. And yes, I think it came from Terry Nation, but it was also like originally from movie, which was originally got it from the stage play The Curse of the Daleks in 1965, and it was repainted, and the history of Dalek props is quite something.
Our endless fascination for minutia is another quite something.
Yeah, that too. Well, that's what I love about Doctor Who. The fascinating minutia. This character was originally called Patel until they
After
renamed...
Vinay Patel, who they traveled forward in time and met.
No, but they named the other character in Frontier in Space Patel.
Oh, that's true. Yes, they did.
To match his ethnicity. This is an East Indian name. So they had to change this one to Latep, which sounds a lot like latte, which I could go for right now.
Which is just Patel rearranged.
It is just, it's just an anagram. It's like Khaled.
Which I thought was brilliant when I was a kid.
Yeah, like, whoa. They're not named Dals at all. What the hell? Come on. You've got no hope. You've got no hope.
Wow, that's depressing.
Well, I'd look at him like, come on. Oh, you literally met me like 14 minutes ago. Yeah, this is awkward. Yeah, I'm just shutting this down right now. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I said don't touch me.
Don't touch
6
me.
feet, 6 feet apart, please.
It's like, what do you mean social distancing? That's what we gotta do. That's just what I gotta do. But you're literally hugging the doctor right now as you tell me to social distance. What is with that Dalek art? Look at that. What's with that nonsense?
Pretty
All
fancy.
the twisted metal on there, yeah. Is that like a sauna? I think that's like a sauna, like a wood slats.
Yes. Nothing Daleks love better than a sauna.
Well, it's the hood. It's the cooling plant. This actually
I would think the
is.
inside of the Dalek casing is enough of a sauna.
Well, this is the opposite of a sauna, really.
Mm-hmm.
It is quite Scandinavian.
I was trying to picture Daleks, just smacking branches onto each other.
Chris, I'm not going to kink shame you, but that's weird.
Is it a European thing? I don't know. Like,
this is really a slap together gold Dalek. Like you said, it literally is a slap together gold Dalek. But I mean, it just looks like it because it's got the big lights from the movies and and they're purple for some reason.
And they have the flashlight's new.
It doesn't
there's
match,
lots
is
of
what I'm saying.
things. Yeah.
Gun doesn't look right.
And it's kind of good that it doesn't match because then it stands out as
True.
the the leader kind of thing. But in a way, it's bad that it stands out too.
The invasion of all solar planets is to... I love how these guys are leading the invasion for some dump in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Like, where are they going? Yeah. Where are they attacking? The universe, the galaxy? I mean... That's a cool shot.
Mm-hmm. That's a good shot.
Daleks, yeah.
It's got to be composite, like...
You'd think, yeah.
No, that's actual Daleks. They could do that back in those days. No, they had 7 Daleks and they were using them.
No, it's not the number. It's not the number of Daleks. It's the fact that all the Daleks in the front of the frame were in focus, but so was Pertwee at the back of the frame.
Good point.
No, I feel like that was it. I think they were just zoomed in a little bit, as in the camera was not placed anywhere near that front Dalek.
Yeah, that's fair. We may never know.
May nev.
The Supreme Council. Can you imagine that? Well, actually, you don't have to imagine. We saw it in Asylum of the Daleks. Take that, buddy.
Sucks to be them.
Daleks, we got to talk about your HR department. Okay, the doe eyes aren't working, buddy. It's not so much to climb down that worries me. It's your endless hitting on me. Like I told you to gear down,
first.
Bro.
Yeah. You go first, and I will choose the right amount of distance.
It's moving day.
Yeah. Let's try and move that couch to that. Oh, that's going to take forever.
How deep is your arm?
How deep
is your arm, baby?
I really need
Going into that cave.
'Cause we're living in a world of foolscap.
We are
Sing all
not
the
starting a
Bee Gees
Bee Gees
hits.
cover band.
Yeah.
Oh, or a Bee Gees podcast for that matter. So just strike
Oh, why
that out
not?
here right now, Stephen.
Oh, I don't know much about the Bee Gees, to be honest.
Even the Gibbs cast?
A Gibbs
God.
cast.
No son of Joe and Lots Up. They've gone off to fornicate.
Hey, no. Specifically not to do that.
They've gone off to not
Yeah.
do that.
They're having an awkward conversation somewhere.
I just happen to not be looking in the right place.
The bomb fell. Let's go down and go closer.
Yeah.
Even though
to
I
it.
have 360 vision, basically.
Yeah, not really, though. Here's the scene that Paul was talking about before. I mean, they are kind of logy, because of all the... Perry's a lot more active in this than previous, like other episodes at the same time. His bad back was really playing up, but not this week.
I mean, it's still sparing.
Yeah.
This is very awkward to watch.
Well, because they're a big, they're a bit, you know how you are after a nap. I mean,
Or after 8 hours of podcast.
yeah, after 8 hours of podcast. Exactly. I feel like if three of us were in the same room, someone could kneel down and pick something up from between us quite easily. Honeycomb. Oh, I haven't had honeycomb cereal in a long time.
Dalek Tunnel's big.
Could go with that. Haven't had much to eat at all actually during the course of this day. It's quite. I feel like
That's going to be part of why you're flagging.
that could be it.
That's kind of a big part of what you're flagging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my little can of Coke Zero here, which is trying to carry me through the rest of this. But
Well, you got 10 minutes to go.
Yes, have that no caffeine product.
no, there's no sugar in it. There's
Oh,
caffeine.
it does have
in it.
caffeine?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's why it's called
I don't
Coke Zero
think
Sugar
that's
on
it.
it. Yeah, I think maybe they thought that perhaps people thought there was no caffeine in it, and that's why they named it from zero to zero sugar, but because it needed to be spelled out.
Let's see, they've made another rope noose.
I do like the attempted hanging from the previous episode. That was pretty great. See, look at this. So they have 3 Dalek bombs. Let's just throw one. This is one. I like how he slides it along the side, but maybe it has like one of those things where it's like a weeble wobble, like it just always
Rights
pops
itself,
back up. Yeah.
Yeah. Bommels wobble, but they don't fall down.
That's the one. Stop holding my hand, as Ray said to Finn.
And Finn did not listen,
Poe-
but should have.
Poe never said that to Finn.
No.
Nor should he.
At least in my
They were meant to
fanfic
be together.
novelization, he didn't. Yeah. Good job, science guy. This is all very exciting, actually. Right?
Is it though?
Well, it's fun. It's fun. That's exciting. That's awesome.
It's building up to something, and you can tell it's building up to
Yeah. Like
That would
sometimes
be
some
kind of
classic
bare minimum
Who-
for drama.
Oh, well, so like, sometimes some classic Who stuff doesn't quite build as much as it should, and this builds.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Like slowly, as you can see by that Dalek slowly coming around the corner. Oh, they're on film. Something's going to happen because it's a model.
something. And that rock
pretty good
wall
model.
that rock wall looks completely identical to the studio version.
Totally.
Well, presumably they shot this stuff before.
The model stuff they would have shot
Yeah.
before, but
Yeah.
yeah, just
So they
wanted a
might have
quick
access
thing.
to what this stuff's going to look like, and they might not.
I think there's like little Daleks on cards that are being pulled around. I think that's how they made those shots. Oof. What happened to those Daleks after this, I wonder? Like, it's just
Probably
water.
went to somebody's home.
Yeah. Like, this isn't
Or just chucked
actual
'em.
molten lava, but...
Oh, like the actual props, you mean?
Yeah. Props. I think the liquid itself is just sort of like a big vat of Vicks VapoRub, but...
It looks
Well,
like
they
it's
died
got some-
with no pain then.
Yeah, that's true.
It's definitely got some viscosity, so it's going to have like oil or gelatin or something.
Yeah. Something that's probably very poisonous, but...
Something that might, not make the Dalek toys usable.
Couldn't resell them. Couldn't put them back in the packaging.
Total
and
loss
throw
of
them back on
contact.
the
I
shelf.
feel you, Dalek. I feel you.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Total
there
power
with you,
source failure.
man.
Yep.
I'm there. he comes to
What a
grips with the
twist.
situation very quickly.
That's why he's in charge.
That's why. Yeah. Well, let's get out of here. Let's blow this joint.
The hell with it.
Blow that popsicle stand.
What has anyone ever actually seen a popsicle stand?
I was wondering that myself just now.
I've never seen a gin joint, but
Why would
they
you want to
get
go back to
referred
Skaro, for God's sakes?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It's time for him to say his piece.
I need to
It's
have
time
a
for you to
talk
get shut
with you.
down, buddy.
It's just like there's no, seriously, you've been friend zoned from the moment you stepped down on this planet. There is no hope for you, Latep. Good old Tim. That's a good, I like that little scene there. Oh, we get a Moments of Charm coming up here. Probably the
With
seventh.
the whole don't glorify war thing.
Yeah. I mean, I still like Pert. I mean, he's still good. I like his hair too in this shot. Having a good hair day. Wonder if that was like, is that his own hair styling, or did the makeup like, what did John Pertwee look like during off days? Is what I mean to say. Was his hair just like this? These are things I think
like
we
that.
all wonder.
I love that little kind of hesitant half smile thing that Horsfall does.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very good actor, I think.
He is. See, even Pertwee thinks that, I'm not sure about them Yar. I feel like he knows full well that Joe isn't leaving with Latep, which is the name of a band, but
Leaving with Latep?
leaving with Latep.
I thought that was the name of a sitcom.
Yeah, if she wants to, no. But of course, come on. Because he's obviously broken up when she finally does leave in the next story, Green Death. I just never bought this for a second. There you go.
Yeah, they're both pretty. That's about the only reason that's happening.
Yeah. Off you go. Go join your own rock and roll band on Thal World, which is also called Skaro, but
Can you imagine how bad the rock and roll bands in Thal World are?
terrible.
Thal World will be the name of their live touring album.
That's true. Thal World. Taking it back for the Daleks.
Like Spice World.
I like them. It's just poppy fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Oven Element, take a hike.
Yeah. Of an element. It's not bad though. I'd have that in the house. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
As a prop and as a
It looks like it'd be a
functional-
fire hazard, though.
Everything in 1973 was a fire
That's
hazard.
true. The entirety of 1973 is a fire hazard.
Health and safety gone mad.
2020, health code violation.
Mm-hmm. One last little chase through the forest. It's actually kind of nice. They could have just sort of walked arm in arm off to the TARDIS, but
And now how do I put this? Spitting plants. Take them down. My best velvet outfit, you jerk plant.
that gun shook alarmingly. It wiggled. I did like the way that Pert used to pull down the dematerialization lever, just very like as if he was operating a helicopter or something. You had a good feel for devices like this.
Even though he probably didn't follow the Hartnell rule of needing to know every button what it did.
Probably not. He needed to know where the words were written around the console, but the wall in behind Joe there was my favorite. I like that. It's an homage to the very first Doctor Who set. But
space!
Just as the cheap TV in the top corner is homage to the first TARDIS set.
Or just a cheap TV in the top corner.
Yeah, it could be it too, yeah.
That's Skaro. I'm going to blow it up in 16 years.
I'm wondering if in the roundels where we saw clothing, I bet you that was just crew member stuff they dumped in the bag.
Oh, I bet you. Yeah, I bet you it was not at all intentional, but here we are.
Metabolus
Blackpool.
3.
Yeah.
How she knew to
that's
do
Earth.
that, I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. She knows that Ray and the TARDIS console, let me tell you.
I mean, TARDIS console ease of use is fluid. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right, we're done. Thank God.
Did it. We did it, folks. We watched 12 episodes of Doctor Who in one sitting with people coming along to help us through. By God, we needed it. Thank you, everyone,
Yes.
for joining us.
Thank
and
goodness for being
watching.
our crutches.
I always had that in mind. I always had, whenever we did, I think, oh, well, we'll have people on. We cannot do this alone because that would be
No, and we didn't.
torture.
So thanks to them.
Hope you enjoyed that as Hazel Pethig, not Terry Gilliam's wife, rolls by as we get the full list of credits because the episode 6 credits are always slightly longer to include more of the technical staff. But there we go, Planet of the Daleks, Frontier in Space in the books for our commentary, our classic series. Oh, there's on the next serial. It's Planet of the Daleks, Green Death. Oh, we get a BBC record too. I didn't know this.
Fine looking record.
Yeah, I'll be all right with that, actually. Oh. Well, it's very exciting. All right. Well, there's only one thing to do before we wrap this up after a long day of podcasting is to select the next Doctor Who commentary. I was about to say classic series commentary, but we worked in some series 2 and the series 10 stuff, the new series stuff that we have not done commentaries for. They're all a fair game now. So let's give this a shot, Chris. You got the old randomizer open there?
Darn tootin'.
All right, then begin to spin it now.
There it goes.
Yeah. So how's it working? It's going all right? Or?
It's going.
Yeah. That's good. I have no idea what's on there anymore. Part of me wishes that, kind of hopes for like a shorter episode just because we watched 12 in one go. It just feels like
we're probably going to get like, I don't know if we have any 7-parters left on there. But
Oh, we
get a
might.
7-parter.
We might. Well, let's stop the suspense right now. Stop.
Oh, the Leisure Hive.
Oh,
I can deal with that.
Oh, I can't believe we haven't done a commentary of that, and I'm so I love the Leisure Hive.
I thought I loved it.
Season 18 Blu-ray sets are not that long ago in the past.
That's true. We can harvest it.
BritBox a while back, and I was like, getting tough to go through this.
Well, you are wrong, Warren, and we'll tell you how wrong when next we do a classic series commentary for the Leisure Hive, Serial Code 5N, directed by Lovett Bickford, coming up sometime in the future. As I've said earlier on in this commentary series, we recorded this on March 21st, 2020. I don't know what the world is.
Apocalyptic history, people.
I don't know what the world is going to look like when this finally comes out, but I hope it finds you well, and I hope that the next episode of Radio Free Skaro finds you well also. So until then, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.
You've been listening to Radio Free Skaro. Find us online at radiofreeskaro.com, follow us on Twitter and Tumblr at Radio Free Skaro, subscribe to us on iTunes, and donate to the show at patreon.com/Radio Free Skaro. Thank you.